Hey everyone, this is Jesse coming at you with our live signing brought to you by Premier Collectibles. We are joined by Demi-Leigh Tebow to talk about her brand new book, Princess Paris Finds Her Purpose. You can get it right now at signedprincessparis.com. And for you lucky listeners that are viewing today, you can get 15% off by using the code Paris15. Demi, I'd love to introduce you. We're here. You are an anti-trafficking advocate. You're former Miss Universe and Miss South Africa. Your wife to renowned athlete Tim Tebow, and you are, of course, a renowned author of previous books as well. We are so excited to be helping you launch your new book. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, thank you so much, Jesse. I am so excited about my new book called Princess Paris Finds Her Purpose. And this has just been such a fun project to work on and to be a part of. My first book that I authored is called A Crown That Lasts. And I wrote that book mainly because I wanted to share all of the things, all of the crowns that I ended up attaching my identity, my value, my worth onto, and those crowns ended up not lasting. I was so fortunate to be able to wear the title of Miss South Africa and Miss Universe, but essentially the time came where I had to give that crown back, and it left me with a question of, oh my goodness, what is my true purpose in life? What is my true calling in life? And I then decided to write this book, Princess Paris Finds Her Purpose, so that it can be a conversation starter between parents and their children, specifically moms and their daughters, on having that conversation from a young age. Where do we find our purpose? What is our true worth and value rooted in? And so I'm so excited about this book. It was such a fun project to work on. It's of course based on my three dogs, the main characters, Princess Paris, and Chunk and Kobe. They're all part of the Tebow pack, and I think the illustrations just came out so fun.
That's so exciting. I love it so much. You recently wrote an adult book. Can you tell me how what the differences were between writing that and then writing a children's book and the audiences that you had to cater to?
You think that writing a children's book, 500 to maybe 800 words, would be a lot easier, a lot quicker. But let me tell you, Jesse, the amount of work that I had to put into writing this children's book was, there were some things that were truly a little bit harder because, trying to relate to an audience that is so much younger to me was difficult. The word choices, making sure you use appropriate language for that 4 to 8 years of age group was definitely a little bit of a bigger challenge than I anticipated for it to be. You want to make sure that you get a clear, concise, but yet fun and adventurous story across while just using 500 words. So that was a bit of a challenge. Definitely something I had to read to some of our nieces, nephews, some of my
Yes.
friends who have younger kids, and be like, hey, does this track, am I on the right track here? Definitely got a lot of moms inputs into this book, but it was a fun challenge.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I was going to ask you about your specific inspiration about the book. You obviously, I'm sure you have a core group of people that love and that love you and that you do life with. Is that part of the inspiration of the book? And you mentioned your nieces and nephews.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of call them my pit crew people. It's that pit crew of people that you go to seek out wisdom and wise counsel, and definitely always love getting their inputs. I think there's just wisdom in seeking wise counsel, right? But like I said, this book was really written. My heart for this book is really for it to be a conversation starter between parents and their children, not just a fun story, not just fun illustrations. And believe me, it is fun and it's very adventurous. I mean, Chris goes on this wonderful adventure to my home country, South Africa, and she goes on a safari. And well, there's a lot that happens there. Some good, some bad, but the model of the story is how Princess Paris found her purpose beyond just a shiny tiara or a pretty ball gown.
Awesome. For those of you that are just joining us, we are joined by Demi-Leigh Tebow, talking about her new book, "The Princess Paris Finds Her Purpose." We're so excited to have you, and you can get it online right now at signedprincessparis.com. She's signing quite a few of them, so make sure you get it right now. And you can use the code Paris15 to get 15% off, which is really, really exciting.
And I'll just say,
You,
I know we have
yeah.
Easter coming up. I think this would make such a cute little Easter basket little add-on. So just giving you guys a few ideas.
That's amazing. Great, great, great ideas. Can you tell us something that's in the book that you think will surprise some of the readers and some of the children even?
Yeah, seeing that this story plays off in my home country, South Africa, and on a safari, I just thought it would be fitting to include some of we have 11 official languages and 12, I believe, as sign languages included in South Africa. So not just dialects, but 11 official languages, which is one of the things that makes South Africa such a beautiful, diverse country and just have shaped such a big part of who I am today. So paying a little homage to home country South Africa, I included three words from 3 of the 11 official languages in South Africa. And so there's a Zulu word, there's a Tswana word, and there's a couple of Afrikaans words, which is my native language. So in this book, you'll also get to learn a couple of different words in different languages.
Oh, how amazing! That's so great. I know for parents that I've got 2 little girls, so being able to teach them a fun new language is always really exciting and getting them really involved. So
And
that's
I
awesome.
prefer to use words that you could actually use in conversation, like welcome or thank you or how are you. So words that might be applicable in everyday conversation.
That's fantastic. I wanted to dig in on a couple of the key themes that are in the book. I think it's going to be really important for parents to dig into those. Purpose. That was one of the big elaborate things that you put in there. Do you feel that children today are struggling to find what their purpose is in the age of digital media and everything that's coming against them?
You know, Jesse, I don't just want to say yes for the sake of saying yes. Of course, social media, we learn that there's so many fun parts of social media, but there's, of course, things that add to us questioning our worth, our value, leading to comparison. All of these studies that we know have showcased that over the last few years. It's hard to fully say, yes, in this day and age, children have a harder time finding their purpose. But I'll lean on a couple of facts. There's actually Harvard reported in 2023, according to a recent study, that 60% of young people, that's about 60% of young people, that's about 3 out of 5 young people, reported that they lacked meaning or purpose in their personal life. And I mean, that's an astronomical number. That is 60% of young people feel that they don't have meaning or purpose in their life. And then furthermore, in that same report, it said that 50% of young adults reported that their mental health was negatively influenced by not knowing what they're supposed to do with their life.
Mm.
And if I just had to make that correlation, basically what the study is telling us, that the happiness, the well-being of young people is directly influenced by them not feeling like they have a strong sense of purpose. And as an adult, there was such a long time in my life, let's go back to teenage years, where I was so focused on, which high school I was going to go to, which university in South Africa I was going to go to, or college as we know it here in America, you were going to go to, what you're supposed to study, what that career path is going to be. Where for such a big part of our lives, we are so focused on, just what the next step is supposed to be, where we maybe sometimes lack looking at the bigger picture in life, looking a little bit deeper at, besides just that degree, besides just that diploma, besides just that achievement, what is our true purpose in this life? What are the things that our Creator has called us to be a part of? What are the things that we have been gifted with that make us special and unique, that we get to add to this this world, because I truly believe that each and every person, each and every child was created with a unique set of skills and a unique purpose in this life. And I know once I was able to discover that, even just the top of it, I feel like the Lord's still revealing so much to me every single day as I get older. But this amount of belonging that I feel, knowing what my purpose in life is, has changed my life in such a big way.
That's amazing. As you stated it so beautifully about kids that are just kind of looking inward, or really secluding themselves, and not finding their purpose. Is there one bit of advice that you could give to people to help them find their purpose?
Yeah, the one thing, and I can talk from my personal experience, I'm definitely no expert, but Jesse, I feel like the moment I was able to discover that calling in my life, that purpose in my life, was when I stopped um, trying to think that my purpose is something so far-fetched, something so extraordinary, so out of my reach, so out of this world, where I had to jump through all of these loopholes to go and find that purpose. And quite personally, I think for me, a lot of that was buried in pride, where I felt like in order to have purpose in my life, I had to do something extravagant, something extremely bold, and I overlooked the gifts that I was blessed with, the talents that I was blessed with, the skills that I was blessed with on a personal basis. Where we all get to have an impact. We all get to make a difference in this world. And we learn that in this book, Princess Paris Finds Her Purpose. You see, she didn't find her purpose in a sparkly crown, or, extravagant ball gowns or a big palace. She found her purpose in her kindness, in her gentleness, in her graciousness. And that's something that she was blessed with, and that made her special. That's what made her a princess.
That's incredible. That's incredible, parents, and those of you that are just joining us again. We're joined by Demi-Leigh Tebow here to talk about her new book, Princess Paris Finds Her Purpose, and to her latest answer. Definitely get this book for your daughters, for your kids, for your neighbors' kids, anyone that has children in your lives, because she's talking about some really incredible things in this book, and I would encourage you all to go out and get it. And please use Paris 15 as a discount code, 15% off, to get the signed book as well. So one of the other key themes that you talk about in the book is about helping others. Can you tell us about your own experience or journey finding yourself or your purpose through service to others?
Mm. There was a time period in my life where shortly after I handed over my crown as Miss Universe, where I felt like I just truly lacked purpose in my life. I didn't know what my next step should be, what the next big thing in my life should be, what the next thing that I should pursue, was going to be. And a lot of that was focused on me, on what I can do, where I can show up, what I can do differently, etc. And I realized by going, and this might sound so cliche, I lived in New York at this point in my life, and I just went down to a local food kitchen that served people, that weren't able to cook for themselves, or get meals available. And I just surrounded myself with a group of people that came to serve others. And for 2 hours out of my day, it just took that pressure off of me, off of, me having to show up, me having to figure it out, me having to find that next big thing in my life. And it taught me so much about service. I think some of the greatest leaders in this world are also some of the greatest servants in this world. And I hope that that's a message that parents and their children get to take away from Princess Paris Finds Her Purpose.
That's right. It seems like we live in a world that is so busy with so many things vying for our time and attention. What would your advice be to a child or a young adult who may feel like they don't have the time to participate in service? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a difficult question, because we always have so much going on, right? And there's always so many things on our checklist, on our to-do list, things that we need to get done. But I think it's one of those things where you will never regret it. You'll never regret stopping, pausing, serving someone in need. One of my favorite nights of the year is the Friday before Valentine's Day, and that is the night that Night to Shine takes place. It's a worldwide celebration that's hosted for people with special needs and disabilities by the Tebow Foundation. And currently, Night to Shine happens in over 60 countries and over 725 locations worldwide, and it truly is my and my husband's favorite night of the year. And the first time I attended a Night to Shine, I went with the intention of pouring into other people, of serving other people, of loving other people, of making other people feel seen and special and loved. And that was exactly what I at least tried to do. But what I didn't realize, Jesse, was how by serving and loving and pouring into other people also poured into my own cup, and how that filled me up in such a profound way that I could have never anticipated, And so if you feel like you lack the time to serve somebody, try it out one time. Go in your, local. You don't have to fly halfway across the world to go and love or serve someone. That could mean serving or loving your neighbor, a friend in school, maybe that friend that didn't get to bring a lunchbox today. Maybe you get to share something with them. Maybe they forgot their pencil or their pen or whatever kids use in schools nowadays. Maybe iPads. I don't know if you share that, but maybe there's a way to just show a little bit of kindness to somebody in need.
That's right. Well, I'm sure there are so many princes and princesses at the Night of Hope that folks can go online. I'm sure. I don't want to put words in your mouth and volunteer and help out for that.
Definitely a lot of volunteer opportunities with Night to Shine. Yes.
That's right. That's right. Well, we are going to transition into one of our fan favorite segments. Again, folks that are joining us, you can get the book right now at signedprincessparis.com, and make sure you use 15% off code Paris15 to make sure you get that percentage off. And it'll be in time for Easter. So we're going to go into our bit of a rapid fire. We got 10 questions in 60 seconds.
I'm ready for it, Jesse.
Ready. It's a new year, right? Okay, so I think we hit this already, but where were you born?
I was born in South Africa in the Free State province, if you've ever heard of that. Small little town. And then I actually grew up closer towards Cape Town, but that's a story for another. This is rapid fire. I'll stop talking.
There we go. You're fine. What is your favorite color?
Oh, I've got a lot of pink around me. I do love pink. Gotta go with pink. Pink pen, pink jacket.
And unfortunately, we don't have the book here, but what's the color of the book?
Oh, it's so many multicolors, got all the dogs. And then we make sure to include some of the most beautiful African sunsets. It's one of the things that I love so much about my home country. Home continent is just the sunsets there are so magical and beautiful. So definitely a very colorful book.
I love it. I love it. Sorry, I'm cheating. I'm extending our clock.
No.
What is one thing that you have in your fridge at all times?
Probably eggs. Great source of protein. Can make them all kinds of different ways. Throw them in some pancakes. Throw them in some, I don't know, just probably eggs. Always have
eggs. Perfect. Who was the most interesting person that you've met recently?
Oh, goodness. Do get to meet a lot of people, but maybe not the most recently, but I would say the most interesting person in my life right now might be one of my best friends. She is a mom of two. Her name's Hannah, and she just always amazes me. She has her hands full with two little ones, but she has the most fun hobbies, and her hobbies always serve other people, which I love because I benefit from them. She's the most amazing cook, and she makes the most wonderful sourdough products, sourdough bread, croissants. She recently made me sourdough bagels. So she's like a sourdough, I don't know what's the word, connoisseur. And she
Yes.
recently started making lattes and like figuring out latte art. And I love that so much about her. She literally, we had a little get together at my house and she brought over her coffee machine to make everybody lattes. And it just shows
Mhm.
what a great servant she is. She just always finds a way to bring joy in every room that she goes. And she's just one of the most interesting people I get to be around and such an amazing mom.
Definitely interesting. I love those hobbies. That's awesome. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Mm. Living in Florida, I might say pollen.
Hey.
I don't know if that counts as a pet peeve, but yes, gotta live on Claritin around here sometimes.
For sure is a pet peeve. Yeah, I can attest to
The
that.
nose is a little stuffy.
What is your favorite hobby?
Oh, very into pickleball at the moment. Love my dogs, getting to do fun things with them. They say your dog won't be your best friend for your whole life, but you'll be their best friend for their whole lives. So definitely love finding ways to spoil them and treat them, and even if that's just a quick walk, just the joy that brings them. And I mean, they make me laugh. I don't know if that's a hobby, but I love my dogs so much.
It is. That's right. No, and you're serving them, so we're bringing it
I
full
wrote a
circle.
book about them, so I
That's
think
right.
that counts.
What is your guilty pleasure TV show?
Tim and I have recently been watching, and this is kind of just like an easy watch. You don't really have to pay a ton of attention. We've been watching a show called The Resident. It's kind of a spin-off of like Grey's Anatomy, and that's been fun. So, and there's like a ton of seasons. So right now, that's what we're watching.
Very
Also,
good.
love The Crown. Hope there's a new season coming out soon, but love The Crown too. That's probably my favorite one at the moment.
Nice. What is your guilty pleasure junk food? Along with watching the TV show, what are you?
You know, Tim and I have really tried cutting out a lot of processed sugar in our life, and I definitely am the one that had the biggest sweet tooth. I love finding little healthy alternatives, and there's some great healthy alternatives at the moment. But if I had to pick one, there's probably like, I'll go with some potato chips. There's a brand called Siete, and they make their products with avocado oil instead of seed oils. So that's a little potato chip guilty pleasure that I like, and I'll probably go with like some chocolate. I'm a chocolate girl for sure.
That's great. Who was the last band that you listened to?
Hmm. Um, Gosh, probably a few, but I was very into rediscovering pentatonics recently, especially over the holidays. I feel like all their holiday music is just so good and so amazing, and I think they did something with Wicked too, a little something that they did. Anyway, it was just so fun. So, kind of recently rediscovered pentatonics. So yeah.
And our last question: where do you want to go that you've never been?
Hmm. I I think a place that I'd love to visit is Switzerland. That's been on my and Tim's bucket list. Chunk, our Bernese mountain dog, he was born in America, but their history and their origin is from Switzerland. So they were herding dogs, and they're a family of the Saint Bernards. And so I would love to go and see where Chunk's from, and just imagine him running in the big snowy mountains. So it's actually so funny when Chunk runs, he leaps. And it's so funny. I was like, why does he do that? And I researched it, and they're like, it might be part of his genetics because, being from the mountains in the snow, they leap through the snow. And so that makes sense. He's never seen snow in his life, maybe a few little flocks, but other than that, that'd be so fun.
That's amazing. We'll look forward to the Tebow family postcard with chunks jumping through the snow.
Perfect. And on burn, yes.
I love it. That's awesome. Well, we've had so much fun talking about your new book, Princess Paris Finds Her Purpose. We're so excited to partner with you for the launch, and thank you so much for signing all these copies, folks. You can go to signedprincessparis.com to get your copy today. Make sure you get it again for your friends, for yourself, for your own family, and for those around you, and get 15% off using Paris 15. Demi, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us?
Thank you so much, Jesse, and thank you guys so much for tuning in and for watching. I hope that you guys enjoy this book, and I truly hope that this book is meaningful to your families, and that this would be a conversation starter between you and your precious children. That it would be a conversation of letting them know how worthy and valuable they are with or without a tiara in this world, and that essentially their worth lies in who their maker says they are, and their maker thinks of them as royalty.
That's right. So well said. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. This has been Live Signing. Take care.